Welcome back to more Mini Rogue. Today, finally taking a look at the new Season 2 content. After last time we sort of finished the Season 1 content by winning a run, playing as the cleric. And I've already played 2 rounds of Mini Rogue with the new Season 2 content together with my partner in co-op. One just using the council base game, and one everything mixed together with the first base game with the different modules from Mountains of Torment. I think the only stuff we didn't use was the Mountains of Torment module itself, this one here, and the Overlord mode. We didn't play that, we just played co-op. And it was a lot of fun, and today we're gonna do a similar thing, but playing solo, everything mixed together. I've put in everything Mini Rogue that I own, except for maybe the combat stances or something like that. And also we're not taking a look at the campaign just yet, and we're not playing against the Overlord, because there is actually an AI Overlord Automata mode, which I'm keen to check out, but not today. So normal solo player game, but we've got the Council, we've got the Old Gods, the Depths of Damnation, Forgotten Guardians, Mountains of Torment, everything, you name it. And to start off with, I randomly picked a character, I shuffled the character cards and drew one, and I drew the Condemned, which is the Mountains of Torment character. So I hope this won't be too different to start out with. And all that's left to do is to look at the aura or the Tormentor from Mountains of Torment and the cursed jewelry, because I'm putting in the modules that make the game easier, but also the ones that make it harder, like the Mountains of Torment and the Delving cards. I've got the scrolls off to the side here and so on. We've got the different final bosses, so there's 3 options for final bosses we could face: Ox Remains, King's Remains, so this is a Season 1 boss, Season 2 boss, or the Mountains of Torment boss, the Champion's Remains, and I'm going to randomize that. Yeah, I hope everything's going to fit in frame. I know it won't, because once I have a scroll and the cursed jewelry and the aura here and all of that, it's just gonna be a little too full, but I'll try to manage, and if it doesn't work, I'll think of something for the next video. So for now, I'll roll the die here to see from left to right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see for the jewelry first. So that's a 4, so we're using this one. And for the aura, that's a 3, so that's the noxious aura, I guess. All right, cool. So we set this up under our board here, and that's why I shuffled everything around again. So we have room here for our Tormentor. And let's have a look at our jewelry that we gained here to start off with. So the Radiant Amulet just has 1 skill, interesting. Flip to look at the top card of the room deck, swap it with an adjacent unvisited room, or shuffle it back into the room deck. Nice, that's kind of like the Crow ability, or similar. It only costs 1 gold to refresh. That seems very useful throughout all the floors, I think. So I'm happy with that. Don't think I have a good place here to put this glare free, I'm afraid. Yeah, so I'm gonna be using the new criminal and rewards card, not the ghost. No reason, just because it's new. And I feel like this criminal is a little bit harder than the ghost, seems to hit harder, felt harder when we played against it, so I'm gonna use that. And we've got the scrolls, but I'll explain anything as we go. All right, let's shuffle the bosses here. And just pick, I guess, the middle one. Who knows what that will be. And the nice thing also is we've got so many normal bosses here, like not final bosses. So I can just pick out any 3. And there's gonna be a lot of variety in these games, because I'm planning on hopefully playing games with all the characters again. So that will take a while. And with so many bosses and so many rooms, I mean, just look at the room deck here. This is our room deck right now. So many rooms in here. I don't think we're gonna be seeing a lot of them twice. Or maybe some of them not at all. Okay, I'll set up here. We'll keep it like this. If we gain an item or the scroll and so on, I'll have it down here and I'll remind you what sort of items we have, maybe when we delve or when we use them. Yeah. But for now, let's get started. Let's have a look at our first room. We have to keep in mind we have a new passive power as well, which is if the monster rolls a 6, we increase all of our character dice by 1 because of the aura. We can turn any character die into a 6 in combat, which raises our torments here, or our anguish as it's called. As an exploration skill, we can visit traps to lower this, and passively, so always when we defeat monsters, we gain food, but we also raise our torment, so the more we fight, the closer we get to fighting this mini-boss there. Let's have a look at our first room here. So shrine right off the bat. Oh, and I should roll for the treasure map. Okay, so 5. If we take that path indicated under the 5 there, we gain a piece of armor. That's nice. Okay, so for the shrine, to start off with, wouldn't be great to get cursed and or poisoned, especially because if we can't get rid of it, our torment increases. I think I'm going to spend one of our starting gold just to prevent the poison at least and make our chances better. Okay, so we're healed by 1 and let's keep going. Prison cells is one of the new tomb cards, or the Dark Codex, which is a new item card. So Dark Codex is interesting, allows you to rewind the area or to change die faces to their opposite side, which essentially means you can turn misses into crits in combat, like 1s into 6s. But I do think I'm going to visit the prison cells because for now we don't have a great chance at a success to pick up the Dark Codex, and I kind of want that piece of armor from the treasure map. So yeah, moving to the prison cells. And let's roll. That is not a success. And that's the criminal, the patrolling guard. Alright, here we go. First fight. So that's the thug at 10 HP. Does 2 damage. And the little symbol here just means it's resistant to magic. So potions and scrolls don't do anything. Yeah, gives 2 XP though. I'll place that somewhere like this. You can see at least see the stats. And let's fight here. Do we want... So the thing with the combat ability is we have to use it before we roll. So I'd have to decide now that I want to crit, which would then mean I would be rolling a 6 guaranteed. I could then add to that, but still unlikely to get to 10. Well, that's a 50-50 chance. Maybe we should take that to try to not get hit here early on. Let's try it. So we use our character skill, which increases the torments. So we now become cursed when we visit a treasure. And let's roll. This gets turned into a 6. Okay, unnecessary there because the criminal missed. I'll extend the crit here. 9 damage, so not even enough. But since the criminal missed, that's okay. Yeah, bit of a waste, but we didn't know that was gonna happen. I didn't know that was gonna happen, so I guess no shot here. I was just looking, but that increased by 1 is just if... Yeah, so they missed once, but we miss once again. As well, I should say, so we take 2 damage. Let's keep rolling here. Failed to do a single damage. Yeah, that's enough. Killed the criminal, got 2 XP. And I think because of our passive ability here, we now gain 1 food. When you defeat a monster, gain 1 food and apply Torment or Anguish. Yeah, not too sure if the ghost or the criminal counts, but I think it does because of the symbol. On some cards it says a monster room, has a little room symbol after it, in which case I would say the criminal or ghost doesn't count, but because it just says monster here, I think we gain the food and we gain another line of torment, which has nothing there. So I've not taken too close a look at these bosses on the backs of these. I do believe they were like moderately powerful, so fighting them early is probably a bad idea. So I'm now realizing a big part of this module is trying to strategize when the right time comes to fight your tormentor. We'll see. So that was the prison cells. And we've got a trap or the forge. Now the trap is nasty, and we don't even have our character skill, which would allow us to lower our torment by 2. The forge is nice, but we'd be giving up the piece of armor from the treasure map, although we have a good chance at getting some armor at the forge, but then we'd be left with this card here. I'll use the Radiant Amulet for now, so we'll flip it, look at the top card of the room deck, and we can swap it to maybe get rid of the trap. So the alcove, well, that's definitely better than the trap. I think let's do it like this and visit the alcove. That way we have the choice here. So for number 5 there we'd be wanting to go downwards anyways. And if we're lucky we can get a cleanse for poison or curse, which is valuable against our noxious aura here, I think. And we get lucky, and that's a poison cleanse. Okay, nice. So the items, you can carry those in addition to the cursed jewelry. The cursed jewelry doesn't take up an item slot. The thing is, this is now used and it only becomes available again when I delve and spend a coin on it. And there's some that take XP or other resources to refresh. Okay, that was that. Let's keep going. Another trap. Or the hunter. Man. How strongly do I wanna... Oh, actually I completely forgot I have a piece of armor, so the criminal would have done 1 less damage then. So how badly do I wanna force this piece of armor from the treasure map? Because chances are I'll fail the trap, which means I will get blinded. Which is terrible actually. Kinda bad. But the hunter doesn't give us anything, because we have no money. So... lose 1 HP and be blinded in exchange for a piece of armor at the end of the floor. I'll try it, I'll take it. I think that's more fun. Although blindness early is terrible. Yeah, and we didn't get the success there. So we are blinded. We do lose that point of HP. But now when we move here, we can gain a piece of armor. Spend food, refresh our skill. Just keep trying to remember if I forgot anything here, but I didn't so far, I think. And we'll delve down and look at our first boss. the honor guard has armor and dodges attacks, but not on the first floor. Interesting, okay. And when delving, we draw 2. Oh, actually no, because I'm blinded, I only draw 1 delving card and just do what it says. Hey, and we get poisoned. Wow. Okay, so we get poisoned from the delving card there. That's nasty. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I only just remembered that the blindness makes you draw 1 less of those torch cards there, the delving. So that's super crap with our Noxious Aura there. But luckily we still have that century-old port we gained earlier, so I'm gonna drink that right now. I don't think there's a rule on when you can use these, because it doesn't say like exploration or combat or anything. So I get rid of that, because he says here after delving. So I think that's within the rules, correct me if I'm wrong, but I really want to cleanse that poison. So now we've delved and we are not cursed or poisoned, so our torment does not increase. And I'll reset the floor here. And there we are. And I do think I'm gonna pay the 1 gold coin to refresh my cursed jewelry here, because although we are blinded right now, so we can't really use the ability, we might be able to cure the blindness, and in that case it works really well together with the treasure map, because that way if the path you're supposed to take has nasty cards, you can replace them and make that path a little more viable. Alright, let's roll on the treasure map here. So a 3, which means we have to take that top right path to get healed at the end. Okay, not super tempting, but kind of nice. Yeah. Do we just use the exploration on a whim to see if it's a trap, to have a chance of lowering our torment? I don't think so, so let's just move in here. Not a trap. It's the Orb of Light. So we lose 1 XP to pick it up, or our torment increases. But actually that's great for us right now, because it allows us to skip monster cards or the horror, which, remember, monster cards increase our torment, and passively it allows us to see even if we're blinded. So I think, but a 1 XP early is so nasty to lose. I think I'm gonna do it. So a lot of new cards right off the bat here already. So the Orb of Light, there it is. Don't know when I'll use the exploration, but for now it's just great to have the passive ability. Can reveal the adjacent room cards at least. Oh, and I just threw some cards around there. So, which one do we want to reveal? Probably the treasure map path to see if it's viable. Aha! So that's a trap. Again, the same one also. We could use that to lower our torment, but we'd still have to face the trap. Or I could use the Radiant Amulet. Let's use the Radiant Amulet again. I love this thing, this is nice. And 1 coin it's a great way to spend money, except for merchants, or other than merchants. So I'll flip it, look at the top card here. The alcove again? I swear I shuffled. Feel like last time we had that exact card and replaced it with this exact card. I'll do it again, sure. But it's a funny coincidence. Let's move on there, see if we can't maybe get something here. We can't. And let's continue. So I'm gonna reveal using the Orb of Light this. Oof. Now I really wish I had my cursed jewelry, because that is a nasty monster, although we have 2 armor. So the shielded kobold actually not that big of a deal for us. Let's just fight that, because we know what it is and this could be much worse. So 12 HP and let's attack. Okay, we do 3 damage and it does none. Attack again. We don't do any damage, it doesn't either. Attack again, we don't do any damage, it doesn't either. Attack again, we do 5 damage. Oh. Riveting stuff, okay. And it's dead. We gain back that 1 XP that I spent for that orb. Okay, what do we reveal? We're trying to take the path number 3, so probably reveal this. The Nook, nice, okay. That's good. We don't really have an exploration skill that's useful to use before a bonfire. That's one of the things I feel makes characters much stronger, is if they have some sort of exploration skill that can just be useful anytime, because then you can do that double use every time you come across a bonfire card. Just use it, get it refreshed, immediately use it again. And if it's something that generates value for you, that's great. This character doesn't have that, because it's a bit circumstantial, the exploration skill, the trap card. Yeah, but still we're just gonna take that Nook and then be healed the 5 HP after the boss, I assume. I'm not sure, the wording isn't perfect on there. So do we take the chance on the lore card? That's the real question here. If the lore card curses or poisons us, we're gonna hate that. But lore cards are fun. And we don't really need the food right now. Also, we defeated a monster, so our torment should have increased. And we gained food from that. So we really don't need the food right now. So blessings and holy potions only cure 1 effect. Great. This is getting a bit ridiculous. We kind of need to visit a trap soon. Or perform some feats, I guess. So I'll take the lore card for fun. The Selenomancer. We've seen this lore card before. We can either just listen to him and say, cool story, bruh, and leave, gaining 1 XP, or help him if we have a perception potion, which we don't have any potions. So 1 XP it is, but I don't mind that. Okay, let's fight our first boss here, the Honor Guard. Yeah, let's do it. So 14 HP and he has 1 armor, which applies to all the physical damage, and the rules say that critical hits don't pierce armor. You know how monsters, when they crit, they pierce your armor. It's not the same for us. When we crit, it works differently. But obviously when we crit, we get to roll again and so on. So we get more damage, but it doesn't pierce the armor. But he only does 2 as well. So we should be somewhat safe here. Okay, I say that and he crits us. So first we do 5 damage because we increase our combat die by 1 thanks to the power drain, but he has 1 armor, so we only do 4 damage. He crits us for 2. Let's keep going. It's so tempting to just get a crit here, but I don't want to increase our torment. Let's roll again. We miss. He doesn't miss, but doesn't damage us either. We do 2 damage, thanks to the armor. He crits again. So we do 5 damage because of the power drain again. He does another 2 to us. Not great. He misses and we crit him. Okay, 2 XP and the rewards card, which has 2 gold or a lore card. Lore card, always fun, but in this case I'm going to take the gold because I want some fuel here for our cursed jewelry. And let's roll to see what we get here. That's a 2, which is a frost potion or another 4 gold. Let's take the frost potion, why not? Might help us prevent some curse or poison in combat. And I want to be really cautious of that, at least for now. Yeah, that's the rewards. And we also heal back 5 HP because we took the treasure map path. So not terrible all in all, let's say. So let's delve, spend the food, we don't refresh anything. Now I'm wondering if the inner darkness applies to bosses as well. If those count as monsters. I feel like it would specify that, so I'm gonna treat it as monster room cards and not the bosses. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, then we head down and I'll pay the gold to refresh my amulet here because I've been liking this. And we'll draw the just the first delving card, the puzzle gate. How am I supposed to find the combination? Okay, so we have to do a skill check. Hey, and we succeed, nice. Tilting your head up, you see numbers carefully etched into the ceiling. Okay, very nice. And we gain a piece of armor. So one of those nasty delving cards that actually paid off, because losing 2 XP now would have been terrible, I think. We're already a bit behind, because I spent some XP on the Orb of Light, otherwise we'd be level 2 by now. Okay, let's roll for the treasure map. 6, so a potion if we take the L down there. And I've also ignored the scrolls up until now. We could have taken a scroll instead of the frost potion, but frost potion is nice, so I'm sticking with that. So because of our Orb of Light, we can reveal 1 adjacent card, so I do think we are allowed to reveal this first card. It's the Bandit with a toll of a piece of food, which is peanuts for us because we've been gaining food passively. We are already blinded and we do have 3 armor, so he wouldn't really hurt us, so we might as well fight him for the XP actually, I just realized. Because leveling up to level 2, though that would raise our torments once again. Actually, I think that's nice, and then we'll have a look at lowering those, either by doing feats, even if it isn't necessary, or by walking into a trap. So actually, I just talked myself out of paying him there. So we'll just fight him. Let's attack. We do 4. And he does no damage to us. And we do another 4 and he crits us, of course. But actually, weirdly enough, because he crits, we do 1 more damage. So we kill him before he can crit. Makes sense, right? Makes sense. And we gain 1 XP from that, leveling up. So I think this was the right choice. Gaining food and raising this. Nothing there. Okay, nothing to see. But I do think we're getting close. I think you fight the boss at like line 6 or 7 or something. I maybe should have taken a closer look at that. But I can't remember now. Okay, but level 2, that's nice. If we want to follow the treasure map, we have to go down. So let's reveal that card at least. And the fence isn't great for us, but it's not terrible. Probably won't do anything there. Don't think we're selling the potion. Don't need food, and he doesn't have a cleanse. He has the opposite. He has curse and poison. So let's just go there and treat that as a dead room. I could have switched that out using the amulet, but I think the amulet might be used better for really terrible rooms. So let's reveal down here again. The alcove again. Okay, so that item is in the deck like 5 times apparently. Tempting to replace the alcove with something more interesting, but I think just taking the easy way here, getting a potion, you know, might be nice. So let's move there, try it. We could pick up a curse cleanse. Now that is tempting, but the orb of light is the only thing giving us vision at the moment. So yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with the orb of light. Let's reveal here. And the merchant. Okay, what a lame floor actually. Could have gotten through this without combat if we just paid him the piece of food. But the merchant does sell cleanses, so we could get rid of our blindness if we sell him our potion. Which seems... doesn't seem great. Because of the Orb of Light, it's going okay. We're at least not walking blindly into terrible cards. However, we're also not seeing a lot of the floor, so who knows? Maybe there's like great cards under there. Treasure cards or stuff like that. Yeah, no. I think I'm gonna spend the piece of gold for 1 HP and just be happy with my trip to the merchant. And let's move on. Final card. So we gain a potion from the treasure map, and in this case I'm gonna draw a scroll. So anytime you gain a potion, any potion, could be the sort of Joker potion symbol here or any specific one, you can instead draw a scroll, and that scroll can be used like a potion anytime. Okay, Scroll of Abundance, it's food. Or if you spend XP, it's even more food. Not exactly what we needed right now, but we'll keep it down here. So we've got, at the moment, a Radiant Amulet, a Orb of Light, and a Scroll of Abundance. One of which is jewelry, one of which is an item, and one of which is a scroll, which is why we are able to carry all 3. But now we're sort of at our capacity, because you can't carry more than 1 scroll or more jewelry than 1 and so on. Okay, sort of uneventful floor. Let's delve down. So we spent the food, we don't refresh anything, and I guess we move down. We have a look at our boss here. The Corrupted is coming up. Ooh, increases our torment and pierces armor, so we won't be able to just ignore his attacks. And he eats up our food. Interesting. Really countering our large food and armor. And let's draw a delving card. We face the ghost on the stairs. Okay, so I guess because it says explicitly says the ghost, it's going to be the ghost and not the criminal. So I've got the ghost somewhere here. Right, because this says ghost and this says criminal. So what do we have here? I guess this would still be floor 2, right? 12 HP and only does 2 damage, which is nice. And it misses, and we do 8. And we do 11. Very nice. So Ghost kill, 2 XP for us. Again, because it doesn't say monster room here, just says monster, I believe we would now gain food and apply our torment increase here. Oh, and this is getting more and more dicey. We haven't lowered those ones yet. So we need to succeed 2 skill checks in order to succeed on a trap, which now makes our exploration that much less appealing. Exploration skill there to lower the torment. Okay, I'll reset the area. Let's reroll our treasure map. 2. So that's 1 XP. Kinda tempting. Let's have a look at our first room, because we do still have the Orb of Light. Treasure, that's the Mimic. But I guess we'll just face it. I don't want to replace that. So we gain a piece of gold. We just roll here. Let's hope we don't fight the criminal again, because that would be bad for our torments. Okay, we don't get anything actually. Okay, could have been worse. Let's reveal to our right here. Prison cells again. It's a tomb card. Not amazing. I mean, we're already blinded, so the spider webs aren't too terrible for us. I don't feel like taking chances. So I think let's just do it here. I'm always considering replacing these cards to maybe look for something better. I guess we look at the card and then we decide if we replace, right? Yeah, so we can take the better card, so we'll never be getting worse. Ah, so okay. I was a little confused then. So that's the one, that's the blindness, which we are already blinded, so no harm done. Let's look here. The bonfire again. Or not again, we had the nook earlier, but the bonfire. I like it. So, let's just go there and take the experience. And to follow the path number 2, we have to go here. That's a monster. I don't want to fight it. We could skip it using the Orb of Light. I think first I'm going to try to swap it out using the Radiant Amulet. Which you can just see off screen here. So we take a look at the top card. Church. Actually kinda nice shot at getting cleansed there, getting rid of our blindness. So let's maybe do that instead of fighting the monster. Just so we don't raise our torments unnecessarily. So let's visit church, spend our piece of gold here, and just roll this die. Now getting cursed would be terrible. But we're only getting cursed if we roll a 1. That's a 6. Crisis of Faith. Okay, lose 1 XP. Not great either. So our scroll is a bit of a dud for us because we have so much food. So I think I would really like to use our combat skill against the boss, but it doesn't seem super feasible with what our torment is looking like at the moment. Maybe we can perform some feats to lower that. Okay, so we're fighting the Corrupted at 20 HP. It does 2 damage, pierces through our armor, and consumes a piece of food every time he does damage to us. So let's go here. Not a great roll. So tell you what, though it costs us 2 HP, let's use 2 to do a feat here. And lower this. Which will re-roll this X into an X. Okay. Do I want to do anything else? Do I want to use the frost potion? Nah, I don't think so. So we do 3 damage. And he does 2 to us and eats a piece of food. Let's roll again. Much better, and he misses. So let's reroll the crit there. So that's 12 damage, and I think we're just gonna take those. He misses us. Very nice. And that's 5, which is exactly enough to finish him off. So he only hit us once. We gain 4 XP, which is very nice. But our torments go back up, which is partly why I did that feat during combat. And we gain rewards again. So 2 gold or the lore card. I think I'm gonna take the 2 gold again. Kinda tempted to use my scroll right now so I can draw another scroll, but let's roll first here. So 3, which is a poison potion or 2 food. Man, so much food. Let's just take the poison potion. You know, or I could use my scroll and then instead of taking the poison potion, draw a new scroll. But let's use the poison potion. Or take the poison potion. Okay. Alright. And we've taken the path indicated by the treasure map, so we gain another point of XP. Okay, spend the food. Spend 1 gold to flip this. We are moving down. And we are having a look at the delving card. Ooh, settlement ruins, gain a reward. It's nice, I think that's the best one, probably. So another reward for us. I'll take the 2 gold again. Let's roll again here. That's a 1, which is a healing potion or 2 XP. Whew, both tempting. We are quite low on HP, but 2 XP. It's just so tempting. Yeah, but I don't just want to die against the floor 3 monsters, because those are tough. So let's maybe take the healing potion. And we'd need to dump one. Let's dump the frost potion we just gained. Doesn't feel great, but okay. Alright, I'm somewhat content with how we're looking, except for this right now. But yeah, maybe the Tormentor isn't that bad, but I wouldn't count on that. Start of floor 3. Let's roll our treasure map. 3, which is 5 HP. That would be nice right now. Oh, and I should get rid of our boss here, because he dead. So let's see. First room here. So I think the one thing keeping us alive at the moment is the Orb of Light. Though otherwise, if I couldn't see it all, I would probably still just follow the treasure map route. So that's a monster. And so that's the Dire Wolf, which does 5 damage, piercing armor, gives us food, which we don't need, and would raise our torment again. So I think this is a perfect opportunity for our amulet, although it's early in the floor. Let's see if we can't swap that with something better. Trap. You know, I think this is actually a nice draw for us, because this is not the most terrible trap. I mean, losing XP hurts, but doesn't kill us right now. And this will allow us to lower our torment here. So we'll use the exploration skill when we enter the next room. If it's a trap card, we apply the 2 purple downward facing mountains. So 1, 2, very nice. And it said when we enter, which is why I'm doing it now, which also means we only need to succeed once to successfully dodge the trap. So let's roll here. Okay, but no success for us on a 3, so we do lose that point of XP. Our XP is kinda semi-good looking, so reaching level 2 early-ish was nice, but now we're sort of floating around the middle mark there. I'd really like to speed up gaining those. And yeah, I mean, I did take the healing potion instead of the 2 XP earlier. So what do we reveal? Let's reveal this one again. If we have no other... Oh, that might be great actually. If we have no other indication, we're just revealing the one the treasure map tells us. So let's visit the armory. So the reason I'm saying that might be great is it is free feats, and free feats also lower our torment. Now we'd have to dump the Orb of Light. Let's think about this after we do the skill check, because maybe there's nothing to think about. Okay, there is something to think about. 3 free feats from the armory. So 3 torment lowerings. Dumping the Orb of Light, which would have us go completely blind. That's not great. That is not great. I do think I'm gonna do it just to switch it up, although this item has been great for us. It's so bright because it's the Orb of Light. Yeah. So this was a really nice find, especially after getting blinded. Okay, let's not reveal and just move here. Damn Cave, finally a classic card. Let's just hope for the glowing cap, because I think we don't really need the food right now. We don't want to get poisoned. And I want the XP. No, that's the ghost, or the criminal, I should say. Okay, so what's he at on floor 3? Ugh. It's an Arbalist. 14 HP, does 5 damage, and especially nasty, ranged, which is one of the new combat attributes, which means he does his damage, or he attacks before we do. So usually when we roll, we apply damage first and then the monster does. But in this case, the monster or the criminal does so first. And we don't even have our combat skill, but we do have the armory, the pristine battle axe. Let's roll here. What a round of misses. Okay. So we could just take that as a null round and continue, but because he hits us first, maybe doing feats right now isn't that terrible. Yeah, that does feel like a waste of the armory, but I think I'm gonna do one at least. So let's do 1 feat here. We roll that. Okay, gotta be kidding me. But we lower this. So now we only... Oh, I think I completely ignored the first line. Did we visit a treasure card already? Not sure. Yeah, we visited the Mimic, so we should have been cursed then. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna say that's that, and we'll think of it from now on. There's a lot of stuff going on, so the game isn't as mini anymore as it used to be. Do I do another feat? Let's not. Let's just say apparently the dice gods hate us in this round and keep fighting here. So 7 damage, and he does 5, which 3 of that is blocked by our armor. So 2 damage, and we do 7. Let's do it again here. 8 damage, and he again does 5. So 2 damage, and we do 8, killing him, gaining 3 XP at least to 15. Yeah, This criminal is a lot more deadly than the ghost, I will say that. So that was the damp cave. And now we're still blinded. I guess we'll follow the treasure map, just to be healed at the end of the floor. Oh, Archer, okay. Also, we just fought, so we gain food and this goes up again. Yeah, I'm telling you, there's so many ongoing effects to keep track of. Sorry if I forget any. Please let me know if you catch anything that I miss. So that again, Archer, another ranged enemy. But this one drains our XP as well, which I hate. Yeah. Maybe that is a good time for the Frost Potion, possibly. Let's roll here. So he is doing a normal attack, which is only 1 damage to us, but also drains 1 XP. I'm gonna spend the Frost Potion here. It feels like a huge waste on only 1 point of damage. But the XP right now is very valuable because we're so close to leveling up. And what that means is we get to attack with our 8 damage, but can we roll this? And that turned into a 4, so that's 12. And that's exactly enough. Okay, perfect. Leave it there. I was gonna do feats using the armory, but let's just leave it there. 12 damage. Thanks to the Frost Potion, killed him without getting any hit in. And now we're 1 off level 3. And we gain 2 gold here, which is nice. And again, we gain food and our torment goes up. Nice. Oh, well, not nice, but we've really doing the trap and the feed buffered some of that torment now, otherwise we'd be fighting the tormentor by now. Though maybe this is soon gonna be the right time. I can't really say, because I've not looked too closely at how strong, how much life, how much HP, how much damage the tormentor does and so on. So let's move here. Because we moved according to the treasure map, we gain 5, which is very welcome. We spend the food, we refresh. I will spend the gold on our cursed jewelry, which has been invaluable. And we move down, drawing a single delving card. We just lose 2 gold at the Goblin Village. Okay, enough said. And yeah, the Scroll of Abundance is kind of a dead item for us at the moment, because we're just gaining food after every monster. I might dump that in the future for a different scroll, because the scrolls are really strong. We've seen that when playing off camera, my partner and I. Yeah, I'll reset the area here. And there we are on area 6. And yeah, I think we're looking okay. Our HP leaves a bit to be desired. We're just about to level up to level 3. 3 pieces of armor, 3 food is great. The gold is kind of whatever. We've just been using single coins for our amulet. I do like it that way. We've got the armory, which is great. We've got a healing potion, which is very nice. We've got the Scroll of Abundance, which we could do without, but we're not going to complain. Our torment is in a fine spot. I just thought about the fact that I do think I forgot to curse myself earlier when we visited that mimic treasure, which that would have had a huge impact on the run, because without finding a cleanse since then, we would have been accumulating torment like crazy. But I can't really go back and undo that now, so I'm just gonna leave it like this for now. Just say we got lucky there by not thinking about it. But yeah, as I said, a lot of passively ongoing effects and things working together here, which I am enjoying, this puzzle and with the different items and so on. But yeah, gets a lot to keep track of, especially on the first run. Because as I said, I've not used the Torment module before. We've played with all the other stuff, but not that. So the treasure map shows us a 4, which gives us food, which essentially means we are pretty free to ignore the treasure map on this floor, because we've got so much food and we've got the Scroll of Abundance. So let's just enter our first room. Ooh, and it's the horror. Maybe something I would have liked to skip, but okay. So on floor 3, the gaze of terror hits us. Actually, I'll bring this up closer to the camera. So this is a weird new monster from Mountains of Torment, which we don't fight. It just sort of happens. And depending on what floor you're on, your torments increase, or your torment increases, I guess. Or you get cursed, or you get blinded, which we already are. And on the 4th floor, you have to run away, otherwise, it's covered by the little holographic dot there, you lose a lot of HP and your torment increases even more. But so for us, because we're on floor 3, that means we get blinded, which we already are, and our torment increases by 2, which I'm not sure if that has us fight the tormentor. So 5, 6, no, just shy, I think. So I do think then it's probably at 7 that we fight. The autofocus is really not working right now, is it? Okay. So we're 1 off fighting the tormentor, I think. Yeah. But again, I don't think this counts as defeating a monster, because we just, we didn't fight it. So I do believe we don't increase a 3rd time. Where do we go? We might as well follow the treasure map. Or actually, let's not. Let's not. We don't have to because of our food situation, so let's just go here for a change. Okay. Regretting my decision already. So that's a trap we didn't know about, so we couldn't use our exploration. Could have just used it sort of on a whim, but I don't know. So we just faced the trap and we have to succeed 2 skill checks in order to succeed the trap. So first one, success, and now the real one. Another success, nice, okay. Didn't think we'd get that lucky. Giving us 1 XP. Look at that, level 3. Actually, the trap was nice. Okay, but this is nasty stuff there. Let's move to the middle. Again, if I'm blinded and I have no other card sort of influencing where to go, like the treasure map, but in this case I'm going to ignore it. I like going to the middle because in case you get cleansed, you then have the choice afterwards, just in case. Okay, the old clock tower roll here. That's a success on a 6, which is a cache, which gives us a potion. So actually, there's several options here. Use the Scroll of Abundance and get another scroll, which can be really strong. Get a healing potion and drink ours to make room for it. So just heal by 6. Seems very strong as well. A bit more of a safer pick. Or we get a holy potion to finally cleanse our blindness, which might be the best long run decision. But our HP is looking rather low, but because we already have a healing potion, I think I'm gonna take the holy potion, drink it. It only cleanses 1 effect, but we are only blinded. So now I'm happy I went to the middle here, and we can finally look at the next cards and possibly use our exploration. Oh man, okay, so we can get cursed or we can get cursed. What a choice, what a choice. So the cursed relic is nasty and it's always been nasty, but in one of our off-camera games we've realized how bad it is now that all the cards have been added in, because there's some relics like I think it's called the Abyssal Veil, which specify a room type that you can get rid of it in. but this one specifies exact rooms, like the merchant, the shrine, or the fountain, which are the names of room cards. And so now that the room deck is so big, because we've got the 2 games shuffled together, you're looking for 3 specific cards to come across these 3 specific cards in the huge room deck. So pretty much if you get the Cursed Relic, you better hope you get comfortable with it, because you're not getting rid of it anytime soon. So I hate that, especially with our Torment increase, although we're probably fighting our Tormentor soon here anyways. Visiting the treasure is more tempting, but gets us cursed as well, as I now remembered. So I think I'm going to use the Radiant Amulet to get rid of the Cursed Relic first. And draw here the top card. That's the Forge. I mean, we could have still kept the relic there, but I was pretty sure it was going to be better than that. And let's just visit the Forge, I think. Yeah, why not? Although, should we fight the Tormentor soon? I mean, fighting the Tormentor is one thing, but getting cursed, I also don't want the curse. So, because I don't really want to fight both the 3rd floor boss and the Tormentor on the same floor, because that might leave us too weak without time to recover in between the 2 fights. Okay, let's visit the Forge here. Roll, hopefully get some armor. Okay, that's a success on a 4, which is the best outcome, so we'll just take that. 1 XP, a piece of armor, looking good. And yeah, let's continue. So we move here. We did not follow this, but whatever. We spent a piece of food. I'm just going to use the Scroll of Abundance now to gain us 2 more food. So I don't have it down here anymore. And we don't refresh any skills. Actually, we do. I'm going to spend 1 gold to refresh our amulet. So quick refresher for you. We've still got our amulet from the start and it's now active again, refreshed. We've got the armory, which had 3 feats to begin with and now has 2 left, because we used 1 earlier. That is our item situation of screen. And I've just used the scroll, so that's gone. And we now move down, drawing 1 more delving card here. No, 2 actually, because we're not blinded anymore. We get to pick. So we draw 2, both negatives. So the Bandit Camp or Illusionary Stairs. So I think I would rather lose gold than lose armor, although we don't have the gold, so that would lose us HP. We have a good chance of success, but losing that 1 piece of armor again after we just got it, but the food doesn't do anything for us. So I think actually this might be a bit more risky, because the food doesn't give us anything and this loses us 3 HP, while this 4 or 3 armor isn't a huge difference. So let's do these Illusionary Stairs and hope we just get the gold. And we do. So you step off the ledge as soon as you see a weird shimmer on the steps. You climb down the wall, 2 gold. Nice. Okay. So that's that. Let's look at our 3rd boss, the Creeping Death. Nice. I say that because, well, it fits thematically with our Noxious Aura, but not the main reason. The main reason is our armor is great against this boss because it does no damage unless it crits us. So we are not poisoned or cursed after delving, so our torment does not increase. Our torment is sitting at 6, which I believe means we fight if we gain 1 more torment. So after the next monster, or if we use our character combat ability. Let's roll for the treasure map. That's a 1, which is gold. Oh, I mix that up here. So that's the top left one there. And let's see. We can see. Okay, treasure card, which means we become cursed if we visit it. It doesn't even have the chance of giving us a holy potion. I don't like that at all. Now, is it foolish to try to replace the treasure using the Radiant Amulet? Because it's not like it's a terrible card, the curse just sucks. I think I'm gonna keep the amulet for worse cards, like the deathbed or something. Although right now we can see again, so we always have a choice between two. Yeah, but I don't know what I would replace the treasure with. I think let's just visit the treasure. We gain 1 gold. We become cursed, which also means our success rate on the skill check is worse. And let's just see if we get anything. Oh, we do, okay. I was fully expecting to find nothing here. So that's on a 2, which is 1 XP or 1 gold. Okay, not the best. I kind of hoped for a potion, which would then have been a scroll. We'll just take the XP, sure. And now we're cursed. So let's continue here. Monster. Or the Orb of Light. Very nice. Okay. So visiting the Orb of Light, we can now easily afford the XP to pick that up. And it's been great for us, although we're not blinded anymore, so we don't really need the passive ability. We could just visit it to increase our torment and then fight the tormentor to be done with it, because it's kind of getting on my nerves now. Is that foolish? We don't really have much in the way of combat except for high armor and our healing potion and our combat ability. I think I'll move here, but actually pick up the Orb of Light, because skipping monsters is still great, especially on the lower floors here, because they are nasty. Let's keep moving, keep looking. Another monster there. And the bandit. So this one, not as bad, because we are already cursed. If we just kill it, it will probably do 2 damage to us. We would get a piece of food we don't need. And we would fight our tormentor right afterwards. Or I just use the Orb of Light I just gained to skip that monster. Yeah, maybe let's do that. So I think maybe it's smart to go now fight that creeping death, which is gonna be a somewhat easy fight for us, I believe, or I hope. We then get the reward, get all of the XP, get hopefully a nice potion or scroll from the reward, and afterwards our torments will increase because we are cursed. And then at the beginning of the next floor, we will fight the tormentor with the newfound equipment from the boss, and then we still have 2 floors to gear up for the final boss. That seems smarter than fighting 2 bosses back to back now. So I will discard the Orb of Light again to skip this monster and keep going here. Okay, so the horror or a pit. Both really bad. Really bad. Now, the horror would just have us fight our tormentor right now, which I just said I don't like. And the pit would need 2 successes, and mind you, we're cursed, so 2 really good skill checks, or we lose food and armor. Yeah, no thank you. Let's use the Radiant Amulet. Which to replace? That's the real question here. I think if need be, we can still do the pit. I will just replace the horror. Actually, let's look first here. Yeah, treasure. Much better. much better, especially because we are already cursed. So let's visit the treasure. Did we face a monster or trap? We did not, because we skipped the monster. So only 1 gold. And we'll do a skill check. We are already cursed. And let's hope for a scroll. Hey, that's a success. On a 2 again. So again, that's just 1 XP. No potions for us, sadly, or scrolls, but that's fine. So now we're fighting the creeping death. And I've completely ignored the treasure map because those 4 gold I don't think are very much use to us. So 30 HP, quite a lot. But we do have feats from our armory. We do have our character ability. And I just checked, so it says here in the Torment's rulebook that you resolve or you fight the Tormentor after resolving a card if you are at the last Torment step. So what that means is if we would use our character ability now, we'd go up to 7 here. But if we then use a feat during the fight and it goes back down, I think we still don't face the Tormentor, because at the end, after we resolve the boss card, it's important if we then are at 7 or not. But okay, so I will, in that case, but our character ability is so much worse because we are cursed now. I just realized, because then it won't be a crit if the curse die actually triggers. It's a 50-50 shot, but we'll still use it because we have the ability. So let's turn that into a 6, any character die, and then we apply Torment. Let's roll. Okay, so sadly the curse die did trigger, which means we won't be getting a crit, but it's still bonus damage. So let's turn this into a 6, and we increase our torments. After resolving the current room, flip this card and face your tormentor. But now I'm going to do a feat using the armory, which didn't really help much, but put this back down. So I think this is legal, as at least the way it is spelled out in the rules. We only look at the end of the room if we are at the last step or not. Okay, but so we're doing 15 damage, which is half of his HP already, and he misses us. So nice start there. Actually, no 15 damage, only 12, because we are cursed. Let's keep rolling here. Hey, and now the curse doesn't trigger, and because he rolled a 6, all the dice are increased by 1. So this is, instead of 16, actually 19 damage already. So we don't need to re-roll any of those crits. We just kill him. And he doesn't even damage us, because we kill him first. Okay, so that was a very easy fight. Gain 5 XP, 1, 2, 3, and 2 HP. And we gain a reward. I'm still just gonna take the gold, still hoping for a merchant. Let's roll here. A 6, which is a perception potion of 4 HP. I'm gonna take the perception potion and instead of the perception potion draw a scroll, which is the scroll of cunning. Reroll any die and we take the best result, and that's any, so we can even reroll the dungeon die or the curse die or the poison die, or we change the result of any die to the face of our choice, which is nice as well. So we've got that now. I'm telling you, these scrolls have exciting effects. And that's the creeping death dealt with. We've not completed the treasure map. We spend 1 food to refresh here. I will spend 1 gold to refresh our radiant amulet. And we move down, and while moving down, we draw 2 torches and choose one. So either we lose 2 health or we flip our character card face down. Aha, interesting. So I think... We've not really been using our character card a lot, I will say, because of the whole torment situation. Though we will be fighting a tormentor now, so then having that unholy blade ability might be nice, but just losing 2 health like that. I think I'm gonna flip the character card face down. I don't think it's gonna be that important to have the combat ability, and the passive one still applies, even if it's face down, I believe. Unless it says here otherwise. No, it doesn't. Okay, I reset the area. And there we are. Okay, so now we are cursed after delving, so our torments increased by 2, which I guess just means they increased to 7. Which means after resolving the current room, flip this card and face your tormentor. It kind of sounds like we do the first room and then we fight. I don't know, doesn't make much of a difference. Oh, it might, actually, might. Because we've got the trap there. This is going to be hard to succeed on. Could use the Radiant Amulet. Let's use that. See if we can't swap that for something nicer. The Sentinel on level 4 floor is not nicer, so we'll just fight the trap, or face the trap, I should say. Let's roll here. And that's a success, but we do have to succeed twice. So let's roll again. And that's another success. We gain a perception potion. Very nice. And now we flip and fight the Tormentor. Okay, let's see. The Leash of Pestilence has 2 phases. 16 HP, does 5 damage, poisons us, and has those 3 claw marks, which means if he rolls a 5, he does extra damage, I think 3 extra damage. And on the second phase, eats up our food. Interesting. Doesn't seem terrible because the HP isn't really insanely high. I kind of was expecting worse. But let's see if I'm going to eat my words here. Let's just attack. The curse die is really messing with us. Yeah, I was just about to say. So that would be 9 damage. And he is hitting us for 1, which poisons us as well. Do we do feats now? Or do we use the Scroll of Cunning to possibly get rid of this curse here? It might be not a bad idea. Yeah, so let's use 1 XP in the Scroll of Cunning to change the result of any die to the face of my choice. Now, interesting question. Do we make him miss and just take the bonus damage? Or do we remove the curse, switch this to a blank side, to be able to crit? I think making him miss and just taking 1 free round is actually worth more for us. So I'm just gonna have him miss. Kind of like a frost potion there, but for 1 XP. And that means we do 9 damage, putting him at 7. And we roll again, and the hope is to defeat the first phase before getting poisoned. Okay, he misses again, and we just do insane amounts of damage. First phase done with, he goes back up to 16. Second phase. He misses again, okay, not. He's having a bad day, okay. So 13, which only is 10, so we do 10 damage. Putting him at 6. And let's see. Okay, he missed a lot, now we miss a lot, but we still do 6 damage, which is just enough. So he didn't get a single hit in with the help of our scroll, mind you, but Leash of Pestilence, I don't know, man. Step up your game. Okay, 2 XP, and we get a reward for that. I'm not gonna take the lore card. I'm just not gonna risk it. I'm gonna save up some money. If we ever see a merchant again, we'll be able to buy so much stuff. Let's roll here. That turned into a 3. Just poison or 2 food. Man, I really kind of want a healing potion, but we'll just take the food, I guess. And that's a Tormentor. Defeated. Nasty looking, definitely. And so these effects are now all inactive. And I do believe that means our power drain is inactive as well. Not too sure, but I think the card is just out. And from now on, if we get the triangles, the torment up or down, it instead just increases or decreases our HP by 1, but it's reversed. So if our torment would go up, actually we lose 1 HP, and if it would go down, we actually gain 1 HP. Which is also the same if you're playing with the tormented rooms and the condemned without using these auras. You just treat the purple triangles as HP loss. Yeah, so they are still usable even if you don't want to use the tormentor there. Or maybe if you're playing co-op and one player plays with the tormentor and one without. Okay, we've got 2 traps. No, we've got a trap and the hunter. And I think I just said I want to spend money. So let's visit the hunter. This is perfect timing. I want to be cleansed and I want to heal. So 2 gold to get rid of the curse. Could 5 gold for a scroll, tempting. 3 gold for a heal, also tempting. The scrolls are just too good though. Gonna spend 5 gold on a scroll, I think. No, actually, no, let's be sensible about this. We have 6 gold, we'll spend all of the 6 gold to heal for 8. Nice, so now we're sitting pretty HP wise and we can get potions or scrolls in other ways. It's harder to heal just randomly in rooms than to find potions, I think. Okay, so I called in all the merchant guild, I think. You know, if I could somehow go down here and then back up, I could bring him the cursed relic, but I can't. Also, I think I forgot to roll for the treasure map, but I've basically ignored that now. Yeah, it's the one again, whatever. Yeah, I'll just visit the merchant and do I sell him a potion to buy anything? No, no reason really. Perception is nice, healing is nice. We'll just enjoy our quiet time here. The weapon cache. Or a monster. Now I do think that means now that every time we defeat monsters we lose 1 HP afterwards and gaining food. But we heal by facing traps, so this just got kind of interesting with the character abilities. I don't want to fight the King's Guard and get poisoned. So let's visit the weapon cache. We still have the armory, but it's only got 1 feat left. So if this is any better, so that would be the sharp gladius, which you can use to add 1 to our lowest dice. Now I think that means we can turn misses into hits, but just adding 1, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that interacts with crits. So if we roll a 6 and then we re-roll the crit and it turns into an X, it would usually be 0. If we then use this, does that mean we sort of save the crit and turn it, prevent it from turning into a miss? I'm not sure. Because in that case, that would be amazing. Just in case. But otherwise, this is just 2 extra damage. I'm sure this has some tactical use, which I'm not seeing right now. But I'm just gonna stick with the armory. The 3 feet is nice. And I know how it works. So let's continue here. We delve, we eat food, we flip our card, move down. No gold for our amulet, first time actually. The amulet has been great. And let's draw the delving cards here. So Countless Doors are old mine cards. Countless Doors could give us a potion, which would be a scroll. And losing the food is not terrible for us, because we only need 1 more piece of food anyways, and we can gain food by fighting. So I do believe I'm just gonna visit the Countless Doors, like finding a single needle in 5 haystacks. Oh man. Yeah, but that's a definite success, so we just gained a potion, which will be a scroll. So let's draw it here. Scroll of Shapeshifting, I like this one. It's a bit funky, but you can get very creative. You can use a skill of an unused character, or even transform. I think I'm gonna leave out the transform skill, because I've discovered this when we played off camera. The Scroll of Shapeshifting. If you gain a lot of potions, you go through all the scrolls very quickly, so every game we were kind of guaranteed to come across a scroll. And that means no matter what character you start with, you can always just turn into what you think is the strongest character at the end. So just turn into, I don't know, the Bones character, or turn into some strong character. And I think if I'm trying to win the game playing as every character, this would kind of defeat the point. So I'm just gonna stick to the top line, I think. Just a kind of little rule I set for myself. We'll see how strictly we'll follow this. But this top line is already strong, and I have an idea for that in mind. Okay, so that was the delving card. I'll reset the area. And there we are on floor 9. So I'll roll for the treasure map. Remembered this time. That's a piece of armor. We don't really need that. And let's have a look here. So we can't skip rooms now. Ooh, the alarm tower. That's nasty. I've had a bad game with that. Turned out fine in the end, but really annoying card. We'll just have to face this. Actually, why not? Let's use our... No, we're already full HP, basically. Was about to use our exploration to heal a bit, but it's kind of unnecessary. So let's face the alarm tower. Just have to do a skill check. And we succeed, luckily. Which in that case is great, because we succeeded on a 5, which means we gain 2 XP, healing us, and 3 gold. But if we had failed, we would have had to pick up the card. And I'm just gonna bring it up to the camera. Keep it until the end of the floor, which also means getting rid of our armory item. We have to resolve monster rooms twice, which on floor 4 is bad. And in general, it's until the end of the floor, not just the area. So that means if you gain it on area 5 or 8 early on, you're stuck with it for 3 areas. Basically having to dodge all the fights, or really having to fight a lot. Yeah, not cool, but great rewards though. Okay, let's continue. The lab. Interesting, we might be in a position to actually use the lab for once, because we have XP to spare, we have food to spare, we have gold to spare, and the archer is of no interest to us. So what do you say we brew? I just realized I could have used my perception on the alarm tower there to guarantee that. It was a bit risky this way. So I kinda wanna brew either a frost potion or a healing potion. No, we have a healing potion. Frost or a holy potion. We don't know what the final boss is, so for rock, I'd love a holy potion to cleanse the curse. The new boss from the council doesn't curse you, so holy potion not really necessary. In that case, I think frost is better. Perception is good to have for the way there. I'm just gonna brew a frost potion, so let's spend 1 of our HP, 2 gold and 1 food to get a frost potion. This might have been the first time or like second time in forever that I used the laboratory. Otherwise, I rarely do. So we've got the wolf or a trap. Gonna go visit the wolf. I do think I'm gonna pick up the wolf for 1 piece of food. To get rid of the armory, I'll have to. And we'll have the wolf for extra damage. Or maybe just have to sacrifice it to gain back the food. Let's continue here. If we'd gotten that earlier, before I just visited the laboratory, that would have been really nice. But the potion bandolier is amazing. So, exploration skill on the wolf. I'm gonna sacrifice it to discard it to gain 1 food. Goodbye. Secret passage tempting, but potion bandolier is really cool. Just gives us space for 1 additional potion and always comes with a holy potion, which I want. Now I don't have the perception potion anymore, otherwise I could guarantee to pick that up. Could probably use the scroll of shapeshifting somehow. I think there's some character that allows item pickup, like guarantees it or something. I'm just gonna roll. Yeah, and that's a success. So we get the potion bandolier. Actually now I've got the space here. Now that the torment is gone, to put it there. And this now has a holy potion in it. So we have a frost potion, a healing potion, and a holy potion. What more could you wish for? 4 armor, still 2 pieces of food, XP full, HP almost full. We're looking great, just 1 more floor to go. So let's continue here. We spend the food. We can refresh our gem because we still have 1 gold piece left. And I completely ignored that. Did we accidentally do it? No, we didn't. Let's move down here, draw 2 delving cards. Hopefully nothing too nasty. Just get cursed. Or get blinded, possibly. Interesting. So both of those not great, but we have the holy potion. Although I kind of want it for a possible Ox Remains, which we can look at now actually. Depends on ordering now, if I can flip that over already. If we're not fighting Ox Remains, I'm fine with either one. I think we're just gonna try our luck, because there's a good chance we just do the skill check here. And we did. So the bat lair, I stepped in guano, didn't I? You traverse the cave quickly and unhindered. 2 gold. And we can reveal our boss. Oh, the champion's remains right off the bat. So that's the boss from the Mountains of Torments, which has 4 different attacks that it cycles through, but doesn't have 2 phases. And it starts off with a venom attack, then it recovers, and it has a flank attack, and then a lunge, with all sorts of effects attached to those. Yeah, interesting. I've not fought that yet off camera, so not at all. Let's see. But I think we're well equipped. But like this, because it cycles through, actually our holy potion isn't great, because if he poisons us, we can use the Holy Potion, but the poison attack is going to come back around. And with Orc, usually I like to fight the first phase, usually get cursed, then use the Holy Potion to get rid of the curse, so I'm not cursed for the second phase. Okay, monster right off the bat. Level floor monsters, never want to fight them, because the best you're hoping for is to just gain back enough XP to heal all the damage you took. I don't want to be poisoned. I'm just going to use the Radiant Amulet immediately to look for something better here. The Altar, this is new. Okay, some weird torment effects and so on, but I'm going to face that instead of the monster, I think. Would it make sense to pay here? Yeah, so 1 gold, get a +1 on the roll. It's a 4, which will turn into a 5. Oh, would have been a potion, but instead it's relief from the torment. So we heal 1 HP. Okay, not too bad. And we're there, actually. Secret Passage. Lore card could really shake things up now. Or I just threw that away completely. The Abyssal Veil. I was talking about this item earlier. So that's one of those items that you have to pick up on a failure, and then you are cursed, and you can only discard it at a shrine card, which is this type, I believe, with the candle up there. So it's not the specific card named Shrine, but the Shrine type, I do believe. Otherwise that would never be discarded. And you increase your torment every time you refresh your skills. But the nasty thing about it is the curse. So I think I'm gonna risk the Secret Passage here. Yeah. Let's draw the lore card. The Rivulet. You come upon a gloomy cave, the sound of falling water seemingly originating from all around you. After walking for a couple of minutes, a small stream reflecting your torchlight catches your eye. Since leaving the city, it is the first time in a long while that you can drink fresh water and allow yourself to relax. I don't care if I die while sleeping, I just want to rest, you say to yourself, weariness pulling your eyelids closed shut. Oh, we have the right class actually. So we don't even need to do a skill check for the sleeping here. We can set a trap and sleep, just gain 1 XP and 2 HP, which is nothing for us, but always fun if you get lucky and have the right class there. Okay, that was the lore card. Alarm Tower. Or the Horror. Okay, so I think I'm gonna risk the Alarm Tower, just because it says we resolve monster rooms twice. I do not believe we then would fight the boss twice. Just seems unreasonable. Yeah. And I want to have the choice here. Let's hope we still don't get the bad result there with the 3 damage. Yeah, so it's a success. Being level 3, the skill checks are just so much fun, as long as you're not cursed. So we gain 3 gold. And now final room before the boss, the weapon cache, which we could actually pick. No, we couldn't because we have the bandolier. Or the hunter. Let's visit the hunter. Do we want to do anything to prepare? I think I'm happy with my scroll and with my potions, my 3 potions, mind you. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're sitting pretty. We are almost full on every stat except for food, which we don't need. And he doesn't even take away our food. So the champions remains 50 HP. And I can now tell you my plan with the Scroll of Shapeshifting. One of my favorite things to do in the base game was, also when playing co-op, is one player playing as the priestess, getting as high HP as possible and then smiting Orc's second phase using the priestess's combat skill, which for anyone that doesn't know, allows you to spend HP and then do that same amount doubled as damage to the monster. So I'd usually go in with holy and healing potions and try to be topped up, and then for a second phase of Orc, which only has like 40 HP if you're playing co-op, I think, 20 solo, you could spend 19 of your 20 HP ideally and just do 38 damage to him and then end the fight that way. And I was hoping to do that here using the Scroll of Shapeshifting. Now we can't right now because he has 50. So if I spend to do 38, it's a bit risky, but we'll have to whittle him down a bit and then maybe use a healing potion and see if we can't get him into smiteable territory using the scroll. There's a lot of other creative stuff to be done because you just have all the character options open to you. But I think that's the way I'm gonna do it for the final fight here. So let's attack. I just dropped a die, and also he's on turn 1, we should mark that. So let's attack here. Do we turn any character die into a 6? I think we do, we start off strong. So guarantee a crit here. And good thing we did, because the roll isn't amazing, so we turn this into a 6. He's critting for 8 damage with poison, and he's got magic resistance on this turn. Now I do think magic resistance only means potions, so the priestess's character skill would still be fine to use. Yeah, we are gonna be using the frost potion here, no doubt. Just to save those 8 HP and not be poisoned. But first we are doing 13 plus another 6. That's 19. It's actually almost enough. That's already enough. Let's just take that. Okay, so 19 damage. That's silly. 19 damage, putting him at 31. He crits us, but he doesn't because of a frost potion. Turn 2. We use the Scroll of Shapeshifting to channel our inner priestess. I've got to find the character card here. There. And use her combat skill, which is why I'm doing it now, because it's a combat skill, before rolling the dice. We lose any amount of health and apply twice this amount as damage. So let's see here. He has 31 left, so we'd have to lose 16 health. Very nice, to do 32 damage. Killing him. Before we even rolled. And then we can roll and... oh, he misses. And we can mutilate the corpse or whatever. Yeah, anticlimactic final boss fight. But we were like insanely well prepared. As I said, full on everything, had the armor, had the holy potion, had the healing and the frost and so on. And this Scroll of Shapeshifting, it's a lot of fun. I'll have to see if it gets too boring, because getting this, I'm always going to be tempted to do that move on the final boss. Because on any other fight, sacrificing that much HP really matters. But on the final boss it doesn't, so you can just go all out. Yeah. Might make things a bit lame if we do that every time, but there's creative ways of using it during the game as well. Just because we got it towards the end, I kind of felt I needed to do that. Okay, fun round. Hope you had fun. I certainly did. I think this is a long one, looking at the clock. Yeah, tell me what you thought. Really strong. Please tell me if I missed anything. I know I didn't curse myself earlier when I fought that or saw that Mimic treasure card. That would have really had an impact on things, I think, because we'd have fought the Tormentor earlier. However, I was a bit underwhelmed at the end, so yeah, they're nasty, but I would, just looking at the stats here, I would sort of put this somewhere at around like a level 3 boss. Maybe between like level 3 and 4 with the effects. Although those are not that... yeah, I think this is sort of like fine to fight anywhere on floor 3, maybe. So that marks our first successful foray into the city with all the mini rogue expansions mixed together, huge room deck. I have to say, a lot of fun because there's so much variety in the rooms. You don't see nearly as much of the rooms twice or even at all. Does mean we were looking for a merchant for a while, but we didn't really need it at the end. The cursed jewelry is super fun, very strong. The delving cards, my partner and I agreed, are kind of the weakest thing about this expansion, though I feel like they are necessary to balance out some of the other stuff, like the scrolls and the cursed artifacts really are strong. You know, they're just a bonus, so they make the game easier. And I get that these are supposed to make the game harder. Sometimes they just kind of feel bad if you just get a card that says lose 2 gold and that's it. And as I said, this they could have done with a bit of artwork, because I kind of like this idea of you find like doors or weird tunnels on the way down and so on. Adds to the atmosphere. But with them all looking the same, they just kind of turn into like you draw them and you're like, oh, poison, okay, move on. Yeah. All right. That was my ramblings about the expansions. Let me know what you think. Have you played them already? Do you own them? Do you intend to buy them or play them? And if you do, what are your experiences with the expansions? Yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying out all these different characters and the different jewelry and the different tormentors and so on. I think there's lots to be discovered there. All right, and with that, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.